Happy Tuesday and welcome to Madeline's Life Management. Today we will be talking about staying motivated throughout your weight loss journey. First and foremost is to have a goal. So if you want to lose 5 pounds or whatever it may be, write that down, write your end goal weight, write down your goal, and then under that, write your reason why. So for me personally, now I've lost 25 pounds since the summer of my senior year. I had gained about 15 pounds and I noticed that I wasn't comfortable with being tagged in pictures or having people take pictures of me, just documentation in general. And so my number one reason why I wanted to lose weight and wanted to be a certain number was to not worry when someone took a picture of me, was not to stress out if I saw that someone had tagged me in a picture, was to enjoy documentation. Regardless of what your goal is, make sure that you're reviewing it often to stay motivated. So whether that be every morning, you have it written on your ceiling, or it's the last thing you see when you go to bed, or even, I know something that I haven't done because I've lived with my sister, but one thing that I think would be super productive is taping up your goals on your fridge, on your coffee maker, on the pantry. So, by your workout clothes, kind of stuff like that, so that it's connected in your mind. Food, exercise, other things in life. You're like, oh, I want to make a decision that will help me get to this goal. My next tip is to get excited. This is really important to keep the traction of the motivation. So, if your goal is weight loss, get a new weight loss recipe book that you're really excited about. Try a new workout, try something different. Go to a dance class, start rock climbing. That's what I did and I fell in love with it. I still go to dance classes and I love them, but rock climbing was new for me. Start watching YouTube vloggers that talk about health and weight loss and stuff like that. That's another thing I did that really helped. But kind of, stay motivated. Get that new pair of running shoes, whatever will keep you motivated to reach your goals. Another important thing is to refuse to be discouraged. If you did have a slice of pizza and maybe it wasn't in your plan for today, don't throw your phone against the wall just because you dropped it and eat 10 buckets of ice cream. You had one pizza. That's okay. That's fine. It's not going to ruin your entire diet. Don't weigh yourself the next morning, obviously. Drink a lot of water and don't be discouraged. Be proud of yourself for how far you've come. Think, before I started this, I wouldn't have just had one slice of pizza. I would have had the entire pizza and a pop and a cookie. And so be proud of how far you've come. Take every step as a victory. So if you have only one slice of pizza, say, I only had one slice of pizza. If you go and do a workout, be proud of yourself for putting in the time, putting in the effort, going and getting sweaty, and be proud of yourself for the little steps, the little accomplishments. Get excited about every pound, every point that goes down. Get excited, be proud of yourself. It took work. Okay, this is also huge. Sometimes I am doing well and then I'm like, is it even worth it? I kind of just want that cake and I'm like, I don't really care anymore. Think about how yourself the next day will feel. Will your tomorrow self care that now your face is bloated and you have acne? Yes. Will your future self wish you would have had your salad and salmon that you had planned for that day? Yes. So it sometimes helps to think of my future self as like a little coach saying, Madeline, don't eat that. Save us both. You're going to look so good. Or, if you do it, I see you in the future and you're so mad at yourself and you have that guilt associated with food. And I don't want you to associate food with guilt. I want you to have a positive relationship with food. If you're having those intense cravings, have some dark chocolate, have a little treat. And then know that you're going to have that treat and it's not going to be this huge binge where you can't control yourself. I know one thing I love doing that really works is if I want a treat, but I know if I have a scoop of ice cream, I'm going to eat the whole thing, which I will. I will go somewhere. I'll go to the mill and I'll order a hot chocolate and I'll drink it there and then I'll go home. And I feel satisfied, and it was wonderful, and it was so fun, and it was a little outing. And I mean, I'd have to walk all the way back to the mill if I wanted another hot chocolate, and it's not worth it to me to go get another one. Now, this is something I want to share in a future video, but it's having a list of things that you enjoy that do not in any way involve or are associated with food. So taking a bike ride, petting a cat, you know, things like that that you really enjoy, writing a story, reading a book, watching YouTube, you know, painting your nails, taking a bath, you know, things like that. Have a list of activities in your life that you enjoy that don't involve food. So if you're like, oh, my life's so boring, I don't have great food, you know, just look at the list and be like, oh yeah, I love so many other things. Even pick up another hobby like drawing or exercise or something like that that's fun, that doesn't involve food, so you don't have to have food to enjoy life, because I'm such a foodie. I love food. It's also so important to keep a journal, track your process, talk about what you're feeling, how your body's feeling. Whenever people go on a health kick, that's all they want to talk about. But your friends and family who are not currently on a health kick, that's the last thing they want to hear about. So I would just encourage you to keep it in a community that shares that interest. So, you know, talk to some YouTube people online that are also into fitness or something like that. But I wouldn't go around telling your friends about how many pounds you've lost or working out unless you have a workout buddy. Because that's sometimes they're like, oh, okay, good for you. Now let me go eat my cake. Tracking your progress is so important. There's so many different ways to do it. Write down your goal. I know one thing I did is I had a list of the weights each pound, and every time I lost a pound, I'd cut it off until I got to my goal weight, and that was so encouraging for me, and a couple times I'd have to tape it back on. But anyway, that was kind of a fun visual, and I know some people have two jars, like a jar of like pounds to lose and a jar of already lost, and you like put the pounds. Another great thing is taking a before and after picture. It's so encouraging, especially if the scale doesn't show your progress, but you've been working really hard to see like, oh, I have abs now, or that's new, or, you know, so that's kind of fun. Or oh, my jawline's looking a bit better. Something like that. Have an outfit that you maybe put on before and take a picture of yourself in that. And then after, it's kind of fun if it's a little bit baggier or it looks better or something like that. So an outfit that you're really excited to wear that just looks better with time. That's always fun. And give yourself non-food rewards for certain milestones. Like maybe if you lose 5 pounds, you're gonna get a facial. Or if you lose 10 pounds, you're going to, I don't know, but something fun. This one is huge. If you are hungry, eat. Have breakfast. Because if you're hungry, and you like don't eat all day, it gets to about 6 o'clock and you're like, well, I haven't had anything to eat all day, and you're feeling starved and you just feel like you deserve all the food. And that's when you're going to eat the entire chocolate cake and you're going to pig out and you're going to feel terrible about it. And that's when you're going to binge, is when you feel like you deserve it because you haven't had anything to eat all day, and that's even worse for your metabolism in the long run. And also, when you are starved, your neurons aren't firing as quickly, and you're not thinking straight, you're not thinking clearly, you're not thinking about your goals, so of course you're going to reach for, you know, that entire bag of Lay's potato chips or something. This last tip applies to anything that is positive in your life, like cleaning, organizing, exercising, making, you know, a food plan, prep plan, or anything like that. When you feel motivated in that moment, do it. If you're feeling the motivation to clean your house and you're in bed and it's 10 o'clock but you're not tired, get up and clean your house. You know, motivation is not a long-lasting thing. It needs to be continually renewed. So if you are feeling motivated to do something that is great for your mental health, your physical health, your health, anything that's great for someone else, if you're gonna serve someone, do it right then, because you might lose the motivation later on if you're like, oh, I feel so motivated to work out, I'm going to in 3 hours. That might not happen. But if you're motivated and you do it then it's even more fun because you've got that motivation pushing you and you feel like you're reaching your goals. And yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.